person was pulling wire in an MDP when a pair of Linemans pliers that were placed on a ladder fell and hit them in the nose, resulting in a broken nose. While the incident didn't directly involve an eye injury, it underscores the importance of general safety precautions in work environments. The person could have been wearing safety glasses, which wouldn't have prevented the nose injury, but could have protected their eyes from potential hazards during the wire pulling process. Some lessons can be learned. Firstly, always maintain situational awareness and be mindful of potential hazards around you. Secondly, secure tools and equipment properly to prevent accidental falls or accidents. Thirdly, wear appropriate protective gear, including eye protection, in work areas where there are potential hazards. Fourthly, seek medical attention promptly if you experience an injury, even a minor one. It's crucial to create a safe work environment by eliminating potential hazards and promoting safe work practices. Regular safety meetings and training sessions can help reinforce these principles and prevent accidents from happening. Tool maintenance is also very important because damaged or poorly maintained tools can increase the risk of accidents. The correct tool for the job should be used because using the wrong tool can also lead to injuries. Another thing to keep in mind is maintaining a clean and organized workspace. Cluttered work areas can create tripping hazards and make it difficult to move around safely. When working at heights, such as on a ladder, make sure the ladder is properly secured and in good condition. Avoid overreaching and always maintain 3 points of contact. It is also essential to be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention to other workers, equipment, and potential hazards in the area. Clear communication is vital. Use hand signals or radios to communicate with coworkers, especially when working in noisy environments. Before starting any task, conduct a hazard assessment to identify potential risks and implement control measures. Remember that complacency can be dangerous. Never become complacent about safety even if you have performed the same task many times before. Accidents can happen when you least expect them. It is important to take breaks when needed. Fatigue can impair judgment and increase the risk of accidents. Staying hydrated is also important, especially when working in hot environments. Always follow lockout-tagout procedures when working on electrical equipment. This will prevent accidental energization of the equipment while you are working on it. It is necessary to wear appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, for the task at hand. This may include safety glasses, gloves, hard hats, and other protective gear. Knowing the location of emergency equipment, such as first aid kits and fire extinguishers, is a must. In case of an accident, provide first aid and seek medical attention immediately. Report all accidents and incidents, no matter how minor, to help identify and correct hazards. Participate in safety training programs to learn about safe work practices and procedures. Working safely is a shared responsibility. Everyone on the job site should be committed to safety and look out for one another. Safe work practices are essential to protecting workers from injury and illness. Safe work practices are specific procedures or methods that workers must follow to minimize the risk of exposure to hazards. Employers are responsible for developing and implementing safe work practices. Workers are responsible for following safe work practices and reporting any hazards they identify. There are many different types of safe work practices depending on the industry and the specific tasks being performed. Some examples of safe work practices include using personal protective equipment or PPE, following lockout-tagout procedures, and using proper lifting techniques. Personal protective equipment or PPE is clothing and equipment worn to protect workers from hazards. PPE may include safety glasses, gloves, hard hats, and respirators. Employers are required to provide PPE to workers and to ensure that workers use it properly. Lockout-tagout procedures are used to prevent accidental energization of equipment while it is being serviced or maintained. Lockout-tagout procedures involve isolating the equipment from its energy source and attaching a lock and tag to the energy source to prevent it from being turned on. Proper lifting techniques are used to prevent back injuries. Proper lifting techniques involve bending at the knees and keeping the back straight. When lifting a heavy object, workers should also keep the object close to their body and avoid twisting. Developing and implementing safe work practices is essential to protecting workers from injury and illness. By following safe work practices, workers can minimize their risk of exposure to hazards. Now let's consider the electrical aspect of the original scenario. Working around electrical panels and pulling wires requires adherence to the National Electrical Code or NEC in Occupational Safety and Health Administration or OSHA regulations. Firstly, always energize circuits before working on them whenever possible. Verify the circuit is energized using a properly rated voltage tester. Secondly, if working on live circuits is unavoidable, use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as insulated gloves and tools rated for the voltage. Thirdly, maintain proper clearance from energized parts. The NEC specifies minimum working clearances around electrical equipment based on voltage levels. These clearances ensure sufficient space for workers to safely operate and maintain the equipment. Wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, is essential. This includes safety glasses, insulated gloves, and appropriate clothing. Safety glasses protect your eyes from debris and accidental contact with electrical arcs. Insulated gloves protect you from electric shock. Avoid wearing loose clothing or jewelry that could come into contact with energized parts. It is important to use properly insulated tools when working with electrical equipment. Inspect tools regularly for damage and replace them if necessary. Never use tools that are not rated for the voltage you are working with. Grounding is a critical safety measure. Ensure that all electrical equipment is properly grounded to prevent electric shock. Use ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs in wet or damp locations to protect against ground faults. Proper ladder safety is crucial when working at heights. Always use a ladder that is in good condition and rated for the weight you will be carrying. Position the ladder on a stable surface and ensure that it is properly angled. Maintain 3 points of contact with the ladder at all times. Avoid overreaching and never stand on the top rung of the ladder. Situational awareness is paramount. Be aware of your surroundings and potential hazards. Pay attention to other workers, equipment, and obstacles. Avoid distractions and focus on the task at hand. It is important to maintain a safe working distance from energized parts. The NEC specifies minimum working distances based on voltage levels. Use barriers or other means to prevent accidental contact with energized parts. Regular safety meetings and training sessions are essential for reinforcing safe work practices. These meetings should cover topics such as electrical safety, ladder safety, and personal protective equipment, or PPE. All workers should participate in these meetings and be encouraged to ask questions. Proper planning and preparation can help prevent accidents. Before starting any electrical work, review the plans and procedures. Identify potential hazards and develop a plan to mitigate them. Gather all necessary tools and equipment and ensure that they are in good working order. It is also good to use proper wire pulling techniques. When pulling wire, use the proper tools and techniques to avoid injury. Wear gloves to protect your hands from cuts and abrasions. Use a wire puller to reduce the strain on your back and arms. Avoid pulling wire too quickly, as this can cause it to snap or break. Safe work practices are essential for protecting workers from electrical hazards. By following these guidelines, you can help create a safe work environment and prevent accidents from happening. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, so it is important to take all necessary precautions. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, do not attempt to do so. Hire a qualified electrician to perform the work for you. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for safe electrical installations. It covers topics such as wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay current with the latest requirements. OSHA also has regulations related to electrical safety. These regulations cover topics such as lockout tagout, personal protective equipment, or PPE, and training. Employers are responsible for complying with OSHA regulations to protect their employees from electrical hazards. Working safely around electrical equipment requires a thorough understanding of electrical hazards and safe work practices. By following the guidelines in the NEC and OSHA regulations, you can help create a safe work environment and prevent accidents from happening. The incident described in the original scenario highlights the importance of always being aware of your surroundings and taking precautions to prevent accidents. Even seemingly minor actions, such as placing tools on a ladder, can have serious consequences. By following safe work practices and using common sense, you can help protect yourself and your coworkers from injury. Ladder safety is crucial. Ladders are a common tool used in many industries, but they can also be a source of serious injuries if not used properly. Before using a ladder, always inspect it for damage. Check the rungs, side rails, and feet for cracks, bends, or other defects. Never use a ladder that is damaged. Select the right ladder for the job. Ladders are available in different sizes and types, each designed for specific purposes. Choose a ladder that is long enough to reach the work area without overreaching. Ensure that the ladder is rated for the weight you will be carrying. Position the ladder on a stable surface. Avoid placing the ladder on uneven ground or slippery surfaces. Use ladder levelers if necessary to ensure that the ladder is level. Secure the ladder to prevent it from moving. Use ladder clamps or ropes to secure the ladder to a stable object. If possible, have someone hold the ladder while you are using it. Maintain 3 points of contact with the ladder at all times. This means that you should have 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand, in contact with the ladder at all times. This will help you maintain your balance and prevent falls. Avoid overreaching. When working on a ladder, avoid reaching too far to the side or above your head. Move the ladder closer to the work area if necessary. Never stand on the top rung of the ladder. The top rung of the ladder is not designed to support weight. Standing on the top rung can cause the ladder to become unstable and lead to a fall. Lower tools and materials carefully. Avoid dropping tools or materials from the ladder. Use a rope or other means to lower them to the ground. Be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention to other workers, equipment, and potential hazards in the area. Avoid distractions and focus on the task at hand. Never use a ladder in windy conditions. Wind can make the ladder unstable and increase the risk of a fall. If you must use a ladder in windy conditions, take extra precautions to secure the ladder and maintain your balance. Wear appropriate footwear. Wear shoes or boots with good traction to prevent slipping on the ladder. Avoid wearing sandals or other open-toed shoes. Inspect the ladder regularly. Inspect the ladder regularly for damage and wear. Replace the ladder if it is damaged or worn. Safety meetings and training sessions are essential for reinforcing ladder safety. These meetings should cover topics such as ladder inspection, ladder selection, ladder positioning, and safe climbing techniques. All workers who use ladders should participate in these meetings and be encouraged to ask questions. Ladder safety is everyone's responsibility. By following these guidelines, you can help create a safe work environment and prevent ladder accidents from happening. Always maintain situational awareness and be mindful of potential hazards around you. Secure tools and equipment properly to prevent accidental falls or accidents. Wear appropriate protective gear, including eye protection, in work areas where there are potential hazards. Seek medical attention promptly if you experience an injury, even a minor one. Staying safe on the job site requires diligence and an understanding of hazards.